is Micah Johnson, a 25-year-old former Army reservist with military skills and no criminal record, and who we learned there told police negotiators he wanted to kill white people, especially white officers. ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas on the chilling motive.
This is the deadly sniper, Micah Xavier Johnson, a former military man who was apparently harboring deep racial hatred, especially against white police officers.
He was upset about Black Lives Matter. He said he was upset about the recent police shootings.
Johnson's Facebook page reveals some of that rage against police. The page which said, "Kill everything blue that moves." Police say Johnson embraced a radical form of Afrocentrism. And law enforcement sources tell ABC News he was armed for his shooting spree with an assault rifle and 2 handguns. Johnson served in the Army Reserve from 2009 to 2015, doing a tour in Afghanistan. Today, when police searched Johnson's home in Mesquite, Texas, they say they found bomb-making materials, ballistic vests, rifles, and a personal journal for combat tactics.
This guy lived around the corner from me and was willing to take people's lives that he didn't even know. You know, it's scary.
But Johnson's sister took to Facebook today to defend her brother, writing, "The news will say what they think, but those who knew him know this wasn't like him." Police initially believed there were 2 gunmen and they detained 3 suspects. But tonight, law enforcement sources tell us they now think Johnson was the lone gunman.
And Pierre Thomas
was shot and killed by a white police officer while she was inside her own home. This incident marks the 9th police-involved shooting in Fort Worth just this year alone. CNN's Polo Sandoval is following the story. So, Polo, what happened here?
Fred, police in Fort Worth released police body camera video almost not long after the shooting actually happened.
The department said that is hoping to provide both transparent and relevant information as this investigation runs its course. But you hear from those that are essentially advocating here for the family of the woman who died. They say that is not enough. They want accountability and eventually even an indictment of the police officer.
We went from a welfare check to a woman being killed by the cops.
Outrage is building over the actions of a Fort Worth, Texas police officer. Saturday morning, just before 2:30 a.m., police were called to the home of 28-year-old Tatiana Jefferson after neighbors noticed her front door was open. Heavily edited body camera video released by Fort Worth police picks up what happens next. After police peer through the front door, they walk the perimeter of the property when suddenly, police say, an officer spots someone standing near a window.
Put your hands up! Show me your hands!
The medical examiner identified the woman who the officer shot as Jefferson. She died at the scene. James Smith says he's the concerned caller who first alerted police.
Part of that time, he managed an apartment complex in Mesquite. Fox 4's Shannon Murray. Live with more, Shannon.
Dan, we're standing in front of that apartment complex right now. We know Stephen Paddock spent 14 years in Mesquite before moving to Florida and then coincidentally to Mesquite, Nevada. While in Mesquite, Texas, Paddock managed that apartment complex and flew planes at the Mesquite Metro Airport until his pilot's license expired in 2010. He owned several properties in Mesquite and his mother lived in one of the homes. Her neighbors remember seeing Paddock but did not know him well.
So I just know his mom lived there, and she had 2 sons, and one of him, and they would come maybe twice a year to visit her.
We have no idea why he did this, and that's what you're going to find out.
Paddock's brother said that to reporters in Orlando, Florida. Their estranged father was a bank robber who made the FBI's most wanted list after escaping prison in 1969. However, though,
killed by a white police officer last Saturday was later near Dallas, Texas. Jordan Edwards was an honor student and an athlete. The fired officer who shot the boy turned himself in on Friday to face murder charges. Roy Oliver was released on $300,000 bail. Oliver's family says the Army veteran may suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder after serving in Iraq. Here's Tony DeCopel.
A funeral was held today for 15-year-old Jordan Edwards at the Mesquite Friendship Baptist Church. His grieving family asked for a pause in protest over his death. "We need time to exhale," the family said in a statement, "to allow Jordan's death to be our own loss before we share this loss with the world." On Friday, the Dallas County Sheriff's Department arrested and charged Roy Oliver with Edwards' murder. Oliver was a 6-year veteran of the Balch Springs police force.
I'm saying after reviewing the video that
I don't believe they'd have met our core values.
Chief Jonathan Habert dismissed Oliver earlier in the week after the officer fired a rifle into a car of teenagers leaving a party last weekend. Edwards was struck in the head. Lee Merritt is representing the Edwards family.
They did search the car for weapons. None were discovered. The kids don't have any history with weapons, gun ownership, no run-ins with law enforcement before.
Police initially said Oliver opened fire because the car was reversing toward officers. Body cam footage showed the car was moving away. Edwards' brother was driving. Former Officer Oliver, who is out on bail, will have to prove he acted reasonably. Independent defense attorney Peter Schultz.
Is that a reasonable officer probably would have pulled out an AR-15 assault rifle at a call for a loud party with a bunch of teenagers?
Never did nothing bad. Just a cool kid. Everybody liked him.
He had this aura about himself that everyone liked.
We sent our prayers over to the family.
Friends remembered Edwards as a fun-loving freshman due to start spring football practice on Monday.
Was arrested. This is it here. Police say he was intoxicated, had marijuana on him when the car he was riding in slammed into a bar in uptown Dallas, injuring several people. This is not his first run-in with the law. Our Ashley Berry is live with these details. Ashley? And this is the bar just behind us here. It's called Sidebar, and Dallas police tell us it happened shortly after 2 a.m. this morning. The female driver of that vehicle was pulling out of the parking garage and for some unknown reason put the car in reverse, backed onto the sidewalk into some pedestrians before crashing into the actual bar. And here is more of that new video. It was shortly after 3 a.m. Monday morning when Trayvon Boykin was led into the Dallas County Jail in handcuffs and booked on multiple charges. You can see him swaying and repeatedly bowing his head before backing up and almost falling over. About an hour later, at what police call the shakedown desk, he's still struggling to maintain his balance. The former TCU quarterback and current Seattle Seahawks player was accused of marijuana possession and public intoxication overnight. Police say he was a passenger in Shabrika Bailey's car when she accelerated in reverse onto the sidewalk outside Sidebar and struck several pedestrians before crashing into the building. 7 people were hospitalized for minor injuries. Officers quickly arrested Bailey for drunk driving and say Boykin had a marijuana blunt. And this isn't the football player's first run-in with the law. He's seen in this video covering his head, hiding from cameras after being arrested in San Antonio for resisting arrest and assaulting a police officer in late 2015. He faced a hefty fine and a year probation for that offense, and now jailed on $500 bond for public intoxication, possession of marijuana, and an unrelated warrant for an unpaid speeding ticket. And we did try to speak with Boykin in jail tonight. He denied.
So it's dislocated in 3 parts, or broken in 3 parts.
Missing broken teeth?
I have 2 broken or missing teeth at the bottom of my right. They're 2 gone completely. And my airway passage is still swollen.
So you said you blacked out, but where do you think he punched you? On your left side or your right side?
From the numbness, I could have felt the right, because that's where I woke up, face down on the right side. So that was the worst. Like, kind of, when I first got up, because I couldn't really get off the floor. He had to have me to the cabinet. It was so heavy.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that much blood. I thought I was bleeding from somewhere else, because it was so much blood, completely. He had to just punch me constantly. Constantly punching. So I think he broke my whole mouth.
Jaya? No, I got out there. Mama, don't make me go. Breathe in that. No, go backwards, go backwards. Don't you touch my girls. Jaya. The people looking at me. Breathe, looking at you. Jaya. Why do you make me do this? Because you must continue on with life. I continue with Jerry. Jaya. Breathe into that bag right there. Breathe in the bag. I'll go to that door over there, but don't take me.
Jay, I can't get to that door.
It ain't going. Oh, no.
What the Sam crackle is this?
Why nobody going in that door?
Probably because you can't get in that door. I think it's locked.
Oh, my gosh!
Yeah, it's locked. The door's locked. You must go that way. Which is the way that we came, and you done made me drive a whole block.
Go to the front.
I will not. I'm not driving out of here and going back around there and sitting in another lot. Yes, I am.
Tanner, not deaf.
And messy.
How could I flunk French? I was tutored by a total French girl. I could step in for Starlight. What are you doing? She is just evil. You just can't stand for anybody else to have a little bit of attention.
When the one is on her way to the top, the other is going down fast.
Honest, I could use a nice hot bath. Are you telling me none of y'all got any cream rinse?
She gets what she wants. Only girls know the meaning of true friendship.
You're going to be on television. Lutz, du hast mich nicht total gesorgt. Dankeschön. Dankeschön.
Kombucha girl. Did you hear that? That was a pretty good tongue pop. You did that. I was like, something came over me. I think it's because you're here with me. The flavor. There we go. The flavor. I love you. Right before, during the commercial break, you were a little starstruck to be here at the Streamy Awards. Are you freaking out? I mean, Rhett and Lee.
Mythical Morning is standing right next to me. That's Rhett and Lee.
Rhett and Lee. Are you freaking out?
I'm trying to be so cool. I just met Gabby DiMartino and I was like, I'm a fancy baby. Like, shut up. I'm so annoying. I love everyone.
I'm so annoyed. I'm not annoyed. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm predicting, girl, that this time next year you will be nominated. I mean, you've had an amazing 2019. Did you ever imagine it would get to this place? I mean, you're it.
I was working at a bank 4 months ago.
Right.
Like, that's the tea. This is a dream come true, honestly. It's so much fun.
The kombucha?
Hey. Lean in a rack, zing in a rack, zing in a rack, lean in a rack, zing in a rack, zing in a rack, lean in a rack, zing in a rack, zing in a rack, lean in a rack, zing in a rack, new knife, lean in a rack, zing in a rack, zing in a rack, lean in a rack, zing in a rack, zing in a rack, lean in a rack, zing in a rack, zing in a rack, lean in a rack, zing in a rack, new knife, all of your shit I ain't with it, hey, sun on your bitch like quit it, hey, I ain't even really tryna win it, hey, happens like this in a minute, hey, she through my, hey, I ain't got them funds to pay, hey, do I go or do I say, hey, too much cocoa in my brain, blue knife, hey, sure to get down in the moonlight, hey, too high, hey, bank run shit like Dubai, hey, broke life, blue knife, blue knife, so high, too high, hey, do I do, ooh, lean in a rack, zenny in a rack.
O último romântico, primeiro hipócrita. estão a ouvir esta mensagem é porque o plano não teve sucesso.